My beloved child, listen carefully because this is not a random moment and this is not a random message. What I am about to reveal to you is unfolding right now. Silence has been used to hide someone working against you. A quiet plan was made behind closed doors and told to you in whispers that you were not supposed to hear. Archangel Michael is coming forward right now to warn you. The last few minutes of that plan's timeline have passed. You couldn't have imagined how heavy you felt recently. You didn't get the sudden resistance, the strange delays, or the changes in how some people behave toward you wrong. Under the surface, something was moving. Someone thought you wouldn't notice. Someone thought you wouldn't know until it was too late. Heaven, on the other hand, never sleeps, and secrets never stay secret. Pay attention to this. The people who are against you have been there for a while. The first sign was when your light was seen. When your growth made other people feel bad, when people thought you were weak because you were quiet. Behind the look of concern, there was envy. Smiles that hide what they're really thinking in conversations that didn't mention your name, but were all about your future. But the enemy is still shocked that you are still standing. The plan is weak, says Archangel Michael. It depends on the time and how long you hesitate. For just one more second. You have to doubt yourself. You have to ignore this push, scroll past it, and say later. That's why this warning seems important right now. That's why you felt compelled to read this message right now instead of tomorrow. There is a choice in front of you. One choice, one moment of clarity or an inner inline and everything changes. This isn't about being scared or panicked. This is about being aware. As soon as you find out, the plan starts to fall apart. If you don't make the choice that was expected, the trap loses its power. People aren't attacking you because you're weak. People are going after you because you work. You carry something that breaks down unhealthy systems and shows up fake authority. Just being there challenges what other people have carefully built in the shadows. They didn't want to confront you in public, so they chose to keep it quiet. But listen up. This is where they went wrong with their math. They thought you were by yourself. They thought no one was looking. They thought that heaven would keep quiet. They were wrong, too. Your name is protected by the Archangel Michael. He knows everything that is said about you behind your back. He knows what everyone wants, even the ones they don't say out loud. He has written down the exact time when interference will stop. Now is that time. You might feel compelled to do something, say something, put something off, or take a quick step back. Do not ignore it. That nudge isn't making things hard. It keeps you safe. The advice you're getting might not make sense at first, but it is right. Heaven often moves you before you can see that something is wrong. Pay attention to the things that keep happening in your life. A thought, a word, a phrase, or a sudden need to check, think again, or change course. These are not just random events. They mean something. When the unseen world speeds up, repetition is the only way to get clear. Someone thought you would do nothing. Someone thought that because you were nice, you would keep quiet. Someone thought you would pick comfort over the truth. But the choice you have to make right now seems small, but it will have a huge impact on your life. Pick alignment over getting approval. Decide to be aware over being easy. Pick the right time over a habit. Do not confront too soon, says Archangel Michael. This is important. Exposure doesn't need you to be angry. You do not fight. You refuse to play your part in the plan, which is how it ends. Arguments will never be as effective as silence, space, and careful thought. The good news is that this revelation also brings relief. The stress you've been feeling for no reason will go away once this is over. The way you sleep will change. You'll get clear again. You will suddenly understand why some doors stayed shut and why some connections made you feel drained instead of helpful. This message is not meant to scare you. It is meant to put you in place. You're not up against the buzzer. It goes against what was made to stop you. And nothing they plan will work the way they planned when the timer runs out. Don't move around. Don't worry. Do what the quiet voice telling you in your spirit tells you to do right now. You don't need to say anything. There's nothing you need to prove. Just make a smart choice in this window because now is over. The problem is over. The cover is off. And your path opens up in ways you didn't expect. If this hits close to home, it's because your spirit already knows what's at stake. What comes next will make a lot of sense very soon. Before we go into more detail about what Archangel Michael is telling us, I want you to take this warning to heart. Just type one word in the comments below. Amen. This is not a word. It's an agreement. It's your soul telling you, I get this warning. I am awake and aware. When you type it, you're not just leaving a comment. You're making a statement that protects you from harm. Do not leave me now. What I am about to say will show you how to get from this warning to victory. Take a deep breath and calm down, my dear. What you're feeling right now is not confusion. The revelation comes one layer at a time. The only thing that warned you was the door opening. Archangel Michael is now drawing you closer. Not to scare you, but to make you stronger. The stress you've been under lately didn't just appear out of thin air. It came because those who can't be seen knew time was running out. There has been an unusual sense of need around you. Little things were heavy. Making decisions took too long. Even when no one spoke, conversations felt tense. This is how the hidden opposition acts when it knows it is about to be found out. Noise to distract you, stress to rush you, and doubt to make it harder to see clearly are all things that it does. You are still here, though, listening and open. That tells me a lot about you on its own. Archangel Michael says, the one working in secret underestimated your sensitivity to truth. They assumed you would ignore the inner discomfort. They believed you would override your intuition with logic or loyalty. But your spirit has been growing sharper, not duller. You have been learning how to listen beneath words, how to sense beneath actions, how to pause when something feels off, even if it looks right. This is why heaven intervenes now and not later. If you had moved one step further without awareness, the delay would have cost you peace. But because you stopped even for a moment, the pattern broke. A link weakened. The plan began unraveling from the inside. You need to understand something important. This is not about one dramatic event. It is about alignment. When you align with truth, deception cannot hold its structure. It collapses naturally. You do not have to expose anyone publicly. You do not have to accuse or explain. Heaven handles what you cannot see. Your responsibility is to stay aligned. Archangel Michael is asking you to observe rather than react. Watch who becomes uncomfortable with your clarity. Notice who resists your boundaries. Pay attention to who benefits when you doubt yourself. These observations are not to make you suspicious of everyone, but to make you wise about where you place access to your energy. There is also something else unfolding. The decision you are being asked to make is connected to timing, not morality. Both options may look harmless. Both may appear acceptable, but one keeps you delayed and the other moves you into protection. This is why the choice feels subtle yet heavy. Heaven often protects us through redirection, not confrontation. Do not rush this moment, but do not ignore it either. Let your next step come from calm clarity, not pressure. If something feels forced, it is not aligned. If something requires you to shrink, it is not for you. If something demands silence when truth is needed, it will cost you later. Archangel Michael reminds you that spiritual protection does not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels like a pause. Sometimes it feels like a sudden loss of interest. Sometimes it feels like a delay that frustrates you in the moment but saves you afterward. Trust what is being rearranged even if you do not yet understand why. You may also feel led to create distance from certain conversations, plans, or commitments. Do not feel guilty about that. Distance is not rejection. It is preservation. Not everyone deserves front-row access to your life, especially during a sensitive transition. And now let me speak directly to your heart for a moment. If this message is speaking to you, if you feel seen and protected through these words, I want you to actively engage with this space. Like this video so the message reaches others who are standing at a similar crossroads. Share it with someone who's been feeling spiritual pressure without clarity. Leave a comment not for algorithms alone, but as a declaration that you are choosing awareness over ignorance. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now. This channel is not entertainment. It is a place of alignment and timely guidance. Joining the community keeps you connected to messages you may need before you even know you need them. Archangel Michael says, your engagement is not small. Every action that leads to agreement makes the atmosphere around you stronger. Truth becomes more a part of your life when you interact with it. Before we go on, there is one more thing you need to hear. What they did in secret is making them feel uneasy already. They can feel the change. They already feel exposed before it happens. This is why their energy might feel like it changes all the time. Don't let that pull you back in. Now, let the separation do what it needs to do. What's going to happen next will show why this break was needed. You missed a safety measure, a delay that saved you, and a turn that will soon make perfect sense. Wait, what's about to happen will make things clear in a way that changes the way you see recent events completely. Beloved soul, what is being revealed right now is more profound than you thought. Because the work that was being done behind your back was never just to mess things up. It had to do with power. According to Archangel Michael, the real goal was to keep you doubting your authority, your timing, and your worth. Other people felt safe as long as you hesitated. As long as you were slow, they felt strong. But something has changed and they can feel it going away from them. There's a reason why you started to see patterns instead of single events. Talking that used to feel normal all of a sudden felt heavy. Chances that should have been easy to take felt blocked for no clear reason. It wasn't bad luck. This was the resistance trying to slowly wear you down so that you would give up without a fight. You didn't give up though. You kept going. It also sounds different in the spiritual world. It tells heaven that more help is needed. Archangel Michael enters the picture. He steps in when patience is mistaken for permission and when endurance turns into injustice. What you are going through now is divine correction. Not just for you but for everyone too. The scales are being changed. It is being balanced out again after being skewed against you. And balance always shows where imbalance is. You need to know something important about the person who worked behind the scenes. They thought they had more time. They thought they could change their plan as long as you didn't say anything. They thought that your kindness meant that they had to do what you said. But heaven put a limit on it. When that limit was reached, intervention stopped without any talks. That's why things are moving faster. Details are coming to light. Feelings are getting worse. The truth keeps moving forward even when no one says it out loud. What was hidden can't last in this weather. Light doesn't hurt anyone. It's just honest. And being honest easily breaks down lies. Archangel Michael says, you are being taught discernment at a higher level now. No longer will you need proof to know when something is wrong. You will feel it immediately. No longer will you over-explain yourself to be understood. Clarity will replace justification. This season matures you, not hardens you. There may be moments when you feel tempted to revisit old conversations or replay scenarios in your mind. Release that urge. Reflection is helpful, but fixation delays healing. What matters is not what they intended but what was prevented. You were protected from deeper entanglement. You were preserved from consequences that were not meant for you. And preservation is a gift many do not recognize until later. Archangel Michael also wants you to know that this exposure is not meant to shame anyone. It is meant to free you. Freedom does not require retaliation. It requires separation. Once the truth is seen, your spirit naturally withdraws from what no longer aligns. That withdrawal is enough. Something new is being prepared in the space that clears. A connection built on respect. An opportunity built on transparency. A path that does not require you to shrink or explain your intuition. This is why the old had to end quietly. Noise was never necessary. Now hear this clearly. The moment you stop carrying what was never yours, your energy returns. Creativity returns. Confidence returns. Peace returns. And when peace returns, progress follows without resistance. Archangel Michael says, this chapter closes not with drama but with authority. You do not need closure from people. You already have confirmation from heaven. That is sufficient. Before we move forward, receive this activation. Type 1, receive divine protection in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 444 has just been released over your life. And now, let this moment flow into obedience. I'm speaking directly to you who feel this stirring in your chest. When you sow into this mission, you are lighting lamps for souls still walking in confusion. You are placing oil where darkness tried to rule. The Lord says, as you release, I release back to you, pressed down and overflowing. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. In the comments, write these words. I break every hidden chain. Declare it out loud as you type it. This is not a performance. This is a proclamation. You are telling the unseen realm that you are no longer bound by secret manipulation. You are taking your authority back. Do it now. Let your declaration rise as a witness. And as we continue, watch how heaven responds to your boldness. Chosen one, now that the veil is off, Archangel Michael wants you to think about something even more important than what was done to you, what was kept inside you. Not that their plan failed, but that it never got to your core was the enemy's biggest mistake. Even though they got close to you, they couldn't get to your calling. Even though they messed with things, they couldn't change your assignment. You might be realizing now that you never really lost yourself, even though things were hard. You were tired. Yes. Yes, you did question some paths. Of course, there were times when I felt very sad for no reason, but something inside you didn't sleep. Something wouldn't give up. That wasn't just your strength. Over that was protection for your spirit that you didn't even know you needed. This season, according to Archangel Michael, was not a test of endurance, but of spiritual authority. You were already tough. But authority can only be used when people are aware of it. Up until now, you were acting without any guilt. From now on, you will act based on wisdom. Innocence is easy to trust. Wisdom sees things clearly. Being smart changes how you move through the world. Changes may start to show up in how people talk to you. Some people will be drawn to how calm you are. Your clarity will make other people feel uneasy. It makes sense. A new atmosphere is created. When authority takes the place of doubt, some people don't know how to live in it. Don't dim yourself to make other people feel better. Your job is not to find comfort. On top of that, you may not be aware of the healing that is happening yet. It's going on below the surface. Old ways of feeling are becoming less rigid. Old ways of reacting are losing their power. Triggers work on unhealed wounds and those wounds are closing. This means that you are not as easily set off. Now, Archangel Michael says, the reason this healing feels quiet is because it is complete. Partial healing is loud. Complete healing is steady. You are not being patched. You are being restored. That is why your reactions are changing before your thoughts do. Your spirit has already moved ahead. Pay attention to your dreams and sudden insights during this time. Guidance will come in gentle ways. A sentence that stands out. A memory that suddenly makes sense. A realization that brings peace instead of anger. These are confirmations that the interference has ended and recalibration has begun. There may be a temptation to seek explanations from those who were involved. Resist it. Explanations often reopen doors that closure has already sealed. You do not need their acknowledgement to validate what you experienced. Validation has already been given in the form of clarity and release. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that spiritual maturity often feels like simplicity. Fewer words, fewer reactions, fewer attachments, more peace, more focus, more precision. You are not losing interest in life. You are losing interest in distraction. What lies ahead will require this clarity. There is a responsibility coming that cannot coexist with emotional entanglement. There is a role you will step into that demands clean boundaries and steady vision. This is why the pruning happened before the promotion. You may soon be offered something that looks similar to what you wanted before but feels different now. That difference is discernment. You will recognize alignment not by excitement alone but by peace. Peace will be your confirmation. If it costs you pain, it costs too much. Archangel Michael also says that forgiveness will come naturally without force. Not because what happened was acceptable, but because you no longer need to carry it. Forgiveness is not agreement. It is release. And release is freedom. You are entering a phase where your intuition becomes your advantage. You will sense shifts before they happen. You will avoid complications without knowing why. You will arrive at the right place at the right time without effort. This is what life feels like when resistance is removed. Do not rush to label this season. Let it unfold. Some chapters are meant to be lived, not analyzed. Trust that what ended did so with purpose. Trust that what begins will do so with clarity. Archangel Michael stands watch not only as a protector but as a guide. You are not being led into isolation. You are being led into alignment. And alignment always attracts what is meant to walk with you next. Remain steady. Remain aware. The path ahead is clear now, even if it unfolds one step at a time. Beloved one, as you move forward from this moment, Archangel Michael brings your attention to the unseen recalibration happening around you. While you have been focused on regaining your balance, the spiritual atmosphere itself has been shifting to accommodate your next level. What once felt heavy now feels distant. What once demanded effort now begins to flow. This is not coincidence. It is alignment responding to your obedience. You may notice that certain struggles simply lose their intensity without explanation. Problems that once dominated your thoughts no longer carry the same emotional weight. This is because their influence has expired. Influence only lasts as long as it is fed. And you are no longer feeding what was draining you. Awareness starves deception. Peace weakens resistance. Archangel Michael says the quietness you are entering is intentional. Silence is being used to reset your nervous system and sharpen your perception. When life becomes less noisy, truth becomes easier to hear. This is why distractions are falling away naturally. You are not being isolated. You are being refined. There is also a strengthening of your inner authority taking place. You will find it easier to say no without guilt. Easier to pause before committing. Easier to step back when something feels misaligned. This is not detachment. It is maturity. Emotional clarity is one of the greatest forms of protection. You may reflect on how much energy you once invested in situations that offered little return. That awareness is not meant to bring regret. It is meant to bring relief. You are no longer required to prove yourself where you are not valued. That season is complete. Archangel Michael reminds you that growth often feels like subtraction before it feels like expansion. What is removed makes room for what can remain. Empty leaves create space for what can stay. This is how capacity increases, by releasing what no longer fits. You might also notice that your desires are changing. Things that once felt urgent now feel optional. Things that once felt important now feel unnecessary. This is not loss of passion. It is refinement of purpose. Your focus is narrowing because your direction is becoming clearer. There is an invitation coming that aligns with this clarity. It may not arrive loudly. It may come as a simple opportunity, a quiet conversation, or an unexpected opening. Do not overlook it because it seems small. Seeds rarely look like harvests at first glance. Archangel Michael says, your role in this next phase is to remain present. Don't rush your thoughts. Feel free to leave without staying behind. Don't move. Protection is based on presence. Manipulation is less effective when you are there. You might still run into ghosts from the past trying to get back in. Old voices, old doubts, and old patterns may briefly reappear. They don't have power because of this. In other words, they are pushing the limits. They will only listen to your calm answer. Take note of how quickly your energy comes back when you choose peace. Look at how clarity comes after stillness. These are signs that deep inside your body is healing. Feeling better isn't always a sign of healing. Sometimes it just makes things right again. Archangel Michael wants you to know that now it will be different, to trust. It will move more slowly but be stronger. You won't bond over chaos or confusion anymore. Stick to what you're doing and treat each other with respect. You won't have to repeat old patterns after this change. On the other hand, there is a small but growing sense of hope. You might start to think about possibilities again without being afraid. You might be ready to make plans without worrying. That openness means that people feel safe again. You're not going back to the way you were before the interference. You are becoming more grounded, aware, and deliberate. This version of you is hard to change. That's why this preparation was important. As you adjust to these changes, Archangel Michael is by your side. It takes time to integrate. Give yourself some time. Take some time to get used to your new rhythm. Being stable is a better way to show strength than being fast. What's coming will add proof to everything you felt but couldn't explain yet. The clarity you have now will lead you in the right direction. Keep choosing to be aware. Honor peace even more. You're ready to walk on the path. So, take a deep breath. Now, while there is silence, I want you to say something to seal this healing. Write "My healing is complete" in the comments. Not "I hope it's complete" or "It might be complete." Say it's done. Your spirit has already moved on. Now, let your words catch up. This is your testimony ahead of time. Feel the old habit slipping away as you type it. Feel the healing beginning to take hold. Don't go anywhere else, because what I'm about to say will show you how this new stability starts to work in your daily life. Beloved child, Archangel Michael is now talking to you about momentum. Because being protected doesn't just mean stopping what was trying to hurt you. That's what it means to guide what moves forward. You're feeling a slow but steady push right now. It changes from pressure to force. It's like getting ready for a push. This is the start of divine momentum, calmly, clearly, and without chaos. You might feel like putting things off no longer feels good. Delays that didn't seem dangerous before now feel heavy. The reason for this is that the season has changed. Things that were okay before are not okay now. Time is now very important. When timing is important, waiting too long costs money. It's not dangerous, but it limits what you can do. And heaven doesn't want that to define this chapter. Archangel Michael tells you that your understanding has grown to the point where you can move on without thinking too much. You don't need to keep getting confirmation. You don't need everyone to agree with you anymore. You're ready to take the next step now that you know enough. That level of confidence is not haughtiness. It is in line. Watch for chances that don't drain you as they start to show up. Take note of how some paths feel lighter before the results show up. If you feel lighter, it means you agree. Being heavy means you are resisting. Use this as your filter. You don't have to struggle to show that you are committed. You won't have to betray yourself for what is meant for you. Archangel Michael also wants you to remember that just because you're moving forward doesn't mean everything will be fine. It means that you will be safe while you move. There's a difference. Perfection isn't stable. Protection is strong. You are being given strength. Some people might not understand your change. They might say you're not as available, speedy, or eager to explain yourself. That should be enough proof. For people who benefited from your uncertainty, growth often looks like moving away. There is also a return of joy going on. Joy that is steady, not loud. The kind that doesn't change based on what's going on. The kind that sticks around even when things change. This happiness comes from feeling safe again in your nervous system. Joy comes out naturally when the spirit feels safe. During this time, Archangel Michael wants you to be careful about what you let into your mind. What you eat determines how fast you move. Things like conversations, media, and environments are more important now that you are building consistency. Keep your focus safe. The key to making progress is to stay focused. You are also learning to believe in yourself again. At first, this trust might feel strange because you aren't used to moving without stress. You might question moments of clarity. But peace isn't a sign of trouble. Peace is a sign of approval. There will be times when you realize how close you were to making a choice that would have made things take longer. Don't think about that too much. Not regret is the right thing to say in this situation. Just in time, you were led away. Archangel Michael says that the momentum that is building right now won't stop all of a sudden. It will slowly get stronger, giving you time to adjust without being too stressed. As long as this goes on, there will be growth, clarity, and peace. That being said, I want you to take part if this message feels right to you. You can keep this word in your mind by liking this video. Spread it so that other people who feel invisible can get clarity. Leave a comment with what you're letting go of or stepping into. Your words agree with me. Also, now is the time to subscribe if you haven't already. Signing up keeps you in touch with timely advice that is meant to keep you safe and put you in the best position. It's more than just a channel. In this place, things are in order. Stay with me for the next part before you leave. You won't see how what's about to happen ties together everything you've been through so far, but it will, and it will help you understand why this momentum had to start now. Instead of standing behind you, Archangel Michael is in front of you. You're not getting caught up. You're almost there. I want you to do something now that goes beyond what is normal. Click the like button, please. Not as a casual move but as a way to get things going. You are not just watching a video. When you click that button, you are saying, Lord, I am ready for your favor to flow in my life. Each like tells heaven that you agree with this word. It's a spark that starts spiritual momentum. You make it possible for God's favor to rush into your life when you engage. Do it right now and see how quickly things start to change for the better around you. Archangel Michael now directs your attention to understanding, because protection without understanding can still lead to confusion. During this phase, you are not only being kept safe, but you are also being given ideas. Learned why some things happened the way they did and why your spirit was restless even when things seemed stable on the outside. Being restless was not the same as being unhappy. You were being told to pay attention by discernment. At times, you didn't know how to explain your unease. It was clear that nothing was wrong. Still, something didn't feel right. That feeling wasn't a sign of being emotionally unstable. It was your spirit that picked up on the slight resistance before your mind did. Archangel Michael tells you that right now you are learning to trust that inner signal and not question it. This is important because the next part of your life will require you to think more clearly and have more confidence in yourself. You won't always have time to think things through and make sense of them. Some choices will have to be made based on what you know inside, not what other people say. And that's not careless. That's grown up. You might start to see past interactions in a new way now. Words that you used to ignore now have meaning. Things you used to explain away now make sense. This clarity isn't meant to make things worse. It's meant to close them, right? Understanding is the last step in healing. Archangel Michael also tells you that some of the delays you thought were your fault were actually not your fault. There were breaks that were meant to slow you down so that you would get frustrated and give up on what you were building. But you didn't give up. You adapted. You didn't fall apart. Instead, you adjusted. One of your best qualities is that you can change things quickly. You're feeling more and more sure of yourself now. It doesn't make itself known. It doesn't want anyone to notice it. It just knows. With this confidence, you can move without feeling rushed or scared. You don't have to prove anything anymore. Your path is set by alignment. You might notice that the words you use are getting better. You talk less, but your words are stronger. This is not cashing out. It's the truth. Less is needed when words mean something. Archangel Michael says this means that things are getting right inside. You may feel lonely sometimes, even when you're not by yourself. That feeling is a change. You're switching between frequencies. Not everyone can walk with you when you're this clear. This doesn't mean people are leaving you. This means that your path is getting narrower to what's most important. There is also a natural strengthening of boundaries going on. There is no longer any talk of peace. It's no longer clear what your limits are. Boundaries are no longer defensive. They are becoming natural. When your boundaries are clear, it feels like this. Archangel Michael wants you to know that being sensitive in the past was not a sign of weakness. It was perception without defense. Seeing and being protected at the same time makes it powerful. You can feel deeply without being too much. You can care without having to carry something that isn't yours. The next season will bring chances that need more thought than excitement. It's not always a good idea to walk through an open door. Some are meant to be acknowledged and turned down. If your spirit changes, you'll know the difference. Peace will always show the way. You may also feel like you have a new purpose, even if you can't put your finger on it yet. Most of the time, purpose comes out quietly through consistency rather than revelation. You are set up to have an effect through presence, not pressure. In a world where people act quickly, your calm will become a safe place for others to go. Your clarity will bring direction where confusion once reigned. As you move forward, resist the urge to rush things. Let things happen at their own pace. What is being built now will last, and that takes patience, and patience is easier when trust is restored. Trust that what was left needed to leave. Trust that what is left is enough. And trust that what comes next will arrive at the right time, not a moment too soon. Archangel Michael is standing by you, not as a rescuer, but as a witness to your growth. You are no longer surviving. You are stabilizing. Stability is the basis for everything that comes next. Stay alert and grounded. The clarity you carry now will continue to grow. Archangel Michael now discusses completion, my precious one. Because where you are now is not just a break between battles, but the end of a chapter. Something has reached the end of its useful life. You can no longer let the spiritual resistance that was hovering around you follow you forward. This is why the air around you feels different. Even though the rest of the world hasn't caught up yet, completion takes place in the unseen world before it shows up in the visible world. At the same time, you might feel a strange mix of relief and seriousness. Feeling better because the weight is off of you. You feel serious because you know what's coming next is very important. This is correct. Right now is not the time to make changes. You are in a time of responsibility, not burden. You are being a good steward. You need to be careful with what you carry. Now, Archangel Michael says that one of the best signs that this is over is that you can stay calm when you would have normally reacted. Thing that used to make me anxious, now just show me information. You watch instead of taking in. Now, this is mastery. Mastery is not having control. It's being clear also. The person who worked in secret is finally being found out. Not because of your involvement, but because of how they are set up. Something that was built on lies can't last without constant work. And that work is not working. You might notice that they are pulling away, acting strangely, or becoming quiet all of a sudden. This is no longer your problem. Their part in your life is over. Archangel Michael wants you to remember that endings don't always have reasons. They sometimes come with peace. Peace is what proves it. Trust your gut. If you feel peace where there was chaos, you don't need any more proof. Now you are being asked to permanently hold on to this peace. Watch out for mornings. Watch out for the evenings. Watch out for the times when your mind is free. How well this new foundation sticks will depend on what you let into those spaces. There may be a desire to put yourself to the test by going back to old habits just to show that you have changed. Don't do this. Reenactments are not needed for growth. The fact that you no longer want to participate is proof enough. Archangel Michael says that discernment is no longer just a tool you use sometimes. It's a part of who you are. This means you will quickly notice when things aren't right and will step away without any drama. It's power that's used quietly. Also, being fixed up is something else. Your faith in God's timing. You no longer feel rushed to get things done. You no longer feel like you're behind. You now know that the delay was for your own safety and that the time spent waiting helped you see better. This understanding makes me feel at ease. As this chapter comes to a close, a blessing is cast over your stability. Being stable in your choices, your feelings, and your direction. This stability will bring opportunities that need order, not chaos. You are now ready for those chances. Set your intention to receive this activation. If this speaks to your spirit, type "I stand in divine authority" in the comments. The blessing code 888 is now being used on your life. Now listen to this holy instruction. This is a direct message to those who feel the weight of this moment. If you donate to this mission, you are not giving money to content. You are giving souls who are still under a lot of stress more clarity. God says, as you pour out, I will establish you. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Archangel and beloved child, Michael is now drawing your attention to getting ready because positioning comes after finishing. The thing that was sealed behind you made room in front of you, and intention is always needed in space. You are no longer getting rid of problems. You are choosing where to go. This change is small, but it's important. It shows the difference between getting better and being ready. For some reason, you may notice that your thoughts are turning to the future more often, but not in a worrying way. You're not running away from the present. From it you're building. There is a deeper level of trust now because of this. The mind stops looking for danger when trust is present. It starts to plan. Clear thinking will pay off more than hard work, says Archangel Michael. In the past, hard work made up for confusion. Now, clarity will make things easier. You will still have to be disciplined, but things won't wear you out like they used to. It's important to know where not to put your energy as well as where to put it. At the same time, patience is getting stronger. However, this patience is not the same as the last one. It's not waiting in the dark. This thing is waiting with bated breath. Now you want to know when and how something will happen instead of if it will happen. The way you stand now is different from before. You might feel a strong urge to organize parts of your life that you have been ignoring. This might show up as a need to clean up, reorganize, simplify, or change the order of your priorities. Don't brush this off. Clarity within is supported by external order. When your surroundings are in line with your direction, momentum builds up, clears throat, on its own. Archangel Michael also tells you that you are learning to understand how things work. You know that small decisions can have big effects. This knowledge will keep you from getting into problems that aren't necessary. You will stop putting too little stock in small sacrifices or too much stock in quick rewards. Wisdom is keeping both in check. There may be times when you feel a rush of excitement followed by a sudden calm. This mix is very important. Excited people can act without thinking. If you're calm, you can be passive. Together they make movement that is planned. This is how you are taught to keep your emotions in check. Also, you're moving into a time when understanding will guide your connections more than comfort. You might care less about the past and more about alignment. This doesn't mean you can just throw people away. It means that you value resonance more than routine. You will feel like you are a good fit for relationships that move forward. Archangel Michael wants you to know that not everyone who helped you stay alive is meant to be with you when things get stable. Survival bonds are very strong. Stability bonds always work the same way. The change from one to the other can be quiet and even lonely at times, but it has to happen. Some things that you used to question may start to make you feel grateful. You may now see delays, changes of plans, and even endings in a new way. Being thankful is not a way to hide pain. It's an acknowledgement of safety. Trust grows when people are recognized. Also, people are taking on more responsibility for themselves. It will become clear to you that excuses, especially your own, bother you less. No, this is not judging yourself. A sense of self-respect. Now that you know what you can do, you won't put up with patterns that hold you back. Archangel Michael says that consistency will be more important than intensity this season. Small actions done over and over will lead to long-lasting change. You don't have to change everything at once. It is best to make steady progress. You may now feel led to go back to a goal or vision you put off earlier. Not because it didn't work, but because the time wasn't right. Take another look at it. You're not the same person anymore. What seemed impossible before might now seem doable. Pay close attention to how your body reacts to everything you do. For some, peace will feel like growth. Misalignment will make you feel squished. Your body is turning into a tool for discernment, not stress. Learn how to talk to them. Archangel Michael reminds you that getting ready is not a passive thing to do. It is a dynamic alignment. The road ahead is shaped by every choice you make now. Pick simplicity over too much. Pick the truth over what's easy. Pick being present over being distracted. You're not responding to life anymore. You are aware that you are taking part in it. This is the posture of someone who wants more, not just less stress. Pay close attention this season. One step at a time, the path will become clear and each step will confirm that you are exactly where you need to be. Archangel Michael is now talking to you about alignment in motion, beloved one, because planning without acting can quietly turn into delay. Right now, you are being led to take clear, purposeful steps instead of moving quickly. Now is the time of year when alignment starts to clearly show results. Not all at once, but over time. You might have noticed that you can't stand being still as much as you used to. People will start to feel uncomfortable in situations where nothing changes, grows, or gets better. This pain is not the same as being unhappy. You are moving forward with discernment. It wasn't meant for you to stay in holding patterns. You were made to move forward with a purpose. Archangel Michael says that actions taken when you are aligned are stronger than actions taken when you are scared. Acting out of fear wears you out. Aligned action gives you energy even when it's hard. Notice how you feel after each step. You'll know if you're going in the right direction by how you feel. Also, things are becoming more clear right now. You're not as spread out. You aren't pulled in as many different directions. This ability to focus is a gift. Be careful with it. You don't have to answer every request. Not every chance should be taken. Your clarity is important and you need to keep it safe. There may be times when old doubts try to come back, especially when you can see progress. When something is about to work, doubt often shows up. Do not think that what you know is the truth. There's no reason for doubt to be here now just because it was there before. Archangel Michael wants you to remember that being consistent will help you the most during this phase. Every day doesn't have to be full of big wins. You need to keep moving. Small steps taken every day will work better than short bursts of effort here and there. This is the way to make change last. You may also feel led to be more honest and clear in your communication, not in a hostile or defensive way, but straight up. Clear communication gets rid of confusion before it starts. This will help you save time, energy, and stress. When you need to be clear, speak up. Keep quiet when it would be smarter to observe. You are becoming more proud of your own self-respect. You're not as willing to give up your values for the sake of ease. This self-respect will affect the kind of people and things you attract. You will be ready for what comes next. Archangel Michael says that your surroundings will start to show how you are aligned on the inside. People who reach out to you. The opportunities that come your way and the things that don't work for you may change. Allow these changes to happen without fighting them. You're not really losing anything. This is a very important moment. The Spirit is stirring me to believe that someone is about to fulfill a prophecy that has been put off for too long. I need you to do something if that's you. Right now, sign up for this channel. You lock into alignment as soon as you click the subscribe button. You're telling God, I am getting ready to receive what you promised. It's not just a click to subscribe. It's a promise. Speaking for yourself. I will stay connected to the voice of truth. Do it right now to make that promise a part of your life. Take a moment to think if this message is guiding you, grounding you, or helping you see things more clearly. Agree with it. This word will stay with you. If you like this video, tell someone who is stuck between planning and doing that they should read it. Leave a comment to let people know which way you are going. Here's your chance to stay in touch if you haven't already. Subscribe. If you subscribe, you won't miss any advice that is meant to reach you at just the right time. Join this group of people who move with purpose and not confusion. Your involvement is not only help, it is alignment, says Archangel Michael. Truth comes to you when you align with it. Someone in your life is going through a hard time right now and you don't know it. They don't feel seen or heard and they're stuck in a cycle of confusion. You are being asked to be the bridge by Archangel Michael. I want you to share this video in the middle of this message. You can send it to a friend, post it on your story, or send it to someone on your heart. Sharing does more than just pass on information. It also brings the anointing to life. You make it possible for someone else to make a breakthrough. And when you make breakthroughs possible for other people, heaven makes sure that your own breakthroughs can't be stopped. Do it right now while the Spirit is still strong. As you move forward, keep in mind that not everything will require work. When you take away the resistance, some things will just fall into place. Give people ease when they offer it. Do not think that struggling is a must for being worthy. You are also learning how to take a break without feeling bad about it. Rest is not avoiding things. It's called integration. Integration gives lessons time to sink in and grows wisdom. Respect both your need to rest and your desire to move forward. There may be times when you are thankful for how far you have come and excited about what is to come. This balance is good for you. Being thankful keeps you rooted. You keep moving when you're waiting. Archangel Michael wants you to know that the things you are building now won't always need to be protected because it is based on truth. It will stand. Truth doesn't need to be kept alive by fear. Pay attention to what's coming next before you move on. What you're about to find out will link your actions to results in a way that boosts your confidence and proves that your alignment has been right the whole time. Believe me, this next thought will make everything make sense. Right now, things are moving in sync with each other. At this point, words become fuel for moving forward. Look at your screen, pick up your phone, and type this into the comments. I move with divine alignment. Not today, not tomorrow, and not whenever you'd like. Right now you are setting your own spirit up for momentum as you write it. This means you are telling doubt that you have chosen to be clear. You are telling those who want to hurt you that you want peace. You plant a seed every time you type a word into this season. Now that the statement is over, let's move on to the last part of this chapter's sealing. Archangel and beloved child. Now, Michael is going to talk to you about confirmation because heaven always gives assurance after alignment and action. Assurance doesn't always come in the form of a big event or loud sign. More often than not, it comes as a deep-seated certainty that doesn't waver even when things are still happening. This is the confirmation that you are now entering. You might realize that you don't need other people to reassure you all the time like you used to. You're now quiet, sure of yourself. This trust doesn't come from seeing results yet. It comes from knowing that everything is in line. That's what makes it different. When there is real alignment, confirmation comes naturally. Archangel Michael says this stage is very important because doubt often tries to come back right before manifestation can be seen. It will whisper things like, "What if you misread this?" or "What if you waited too long?" But these thoughts don't matter anymore because your spirit is at peace. Things that calm the spirit can't be undone by fleeting thoughts. Also, trust is growing stronger. No, not blind trust. Trust based on knowledge. Trust is based on knowledge, experience, and being clear. You know what it's like to be out of alignment. You know what happens when you don't listen to your gut. The fact that you know the difference keeps you safe. At times, you may feel like nothing is happening around you and everything is still. This is not the same as being stuck. This is called consolidation. What has changed on the inside is now anchoring itself. Fixed change lasts. Change that isn't rooted fades. Heaven is very careful, so it's not in a hurry. Archangel Michael tells you that you are set up to see opportunities without having to go after them. What is meant for you won't need you to chase it with stress. It will come at you straight on. No one will feel like they have to do it. Things that require you to give up peace in order to get them are not from heaven. You are also becoming more aware of how much you affect people. Not influence as command but influence as being there. Your peace moves from room to room. Your clarity changes the way people talk. People will know how to treat you based on your boundaries. This influence will grow without any work on your part. There may be times when you feel both weak and strong as you think about how far you have come. We need to keep this balance. Being humble lets you learn. Being strong keeps you steady. Together they make you strong. Archangel Michael wants you to know that confirmation does not mean there are no problems. That means that challenges won't make you lose your identity or sense of direction. You know who you are and why you are moving forward when you face them. Everything changes after that. You might also notice that the way you pray is changing. They're not so much pleas for help as they are for understanding, direction, and the right time. This change shows growth. You no longer want to get away. You want to be a good steward. There is also a refinement of desire going on. Not only does what looks good look good, but it also fits. What lasts is more important than what looks good. This improvement will keep you from getting short-term pleasure that leads to long-term loss of control. The peace you feel now will not last, says Archangel Michael. It happens because the alignment locks into place. Honor your discernment to keep it safe. Do not ignore what your spirit tells you just to make other people feel better. Remember that you are closer than you think to seeing things change. When you plant seeds in clarity, they grow faster than when you plant seeds in confusion. Even though growth doesn't show up every day, it is happening steadily. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are walking like a boss in charge that is calm. Authority that is based on facts. Being in charge that doesn't need to explain itself. Archangel Michael is there to see this change happen. What used to scare you can't get to you now. What held you up before can't get to you now. What used to stump you now teaches you. Stay steady. Stay there. The end result will be a resolution, a blessing, and a better understanding of why this whole journey was necessary. Things are about to make sense. Part 12. Archangel, my beloved Michael now says the last word on this journey, but not as an end, but as a seal. What was said has been stopped. What was hidden no longer has any power. What was now in the right place. Right now, you are in the place where understanding turns into embodiment. You are no longer just aware. You have a reputation. Take a moment to think about how you've changed. You feel calmer without giving up. You're sure of yourself without being stiff. You're smart without becoming suspicious. This balance isn't common and you have to work for it. It shows that the person has been through a lot of stress and come out of it with wisdom still intact. Archangel Michael says this shows that you are in charge, still quiet and unable to move. The plan that worked behind closed doors is now over. Not because it was made public, but because it can't get to you anymore. Access was what kept it going. Because you were aware the door shut. It was sealed by your alignment. From now on, interference won't follow you into the next step. What comes next will need careful management and consistency, not defense. You might feel a light sense of seriousness coming over you now. This is not being heavy. It's waking up to responsibility. It's your duty to keep the peace. It is our duty to choose truth over convenience. It's your duty to move on without carrying around old stories. You're not bringing the past with you into the present. You have knowledge on you. You are now transitioning from reaction to creation. Archangel Michael tells you, you will build with a plan. You will make a clear choice. In your answer, you will show wisdom. You will be stronger when problems come up so they won't be able to shake you. This sealing comes with a promise as well. What was meant to make you confused will now teach you. What used to drain you will now help you set limits. Everything you went through was worth it. Everything has been saved and made clear. Soon you may start to get confirmations in quiet ways. A conversation that fits just right. A choice that brings peace right away. A chance that just feels right for some reason. These are not just random events. They are reminders that you are following God's plan for your life. Do not be in a hurry to tell everyone what you are building next, says Archangel Michael. Let it get stronger in peace. Some things do better when they aren't noticed right away. You'll know when it's your turn to talk. Until then, be consistent and let that speak for itself. Let go of any fear that something hidden could come back as this chapter ends. What was hidden depended on you not knowing about it. You now know that chapter can't be opened again. The power you have now will last forever. Be strong in that truth. Walk forward with both confidence and humility. You're not behind schedule. You're not behind. You are right where clarity turns into speed. With intention. Receive this last activation. Tell us about Type 1 walk-in sealed protection in the comments. If you feel like this message is in line with your spirit, blessing code 1212 is now being sent your way. Now listen to this holy call as we end. I'm talking directly to you, the person who felt safe, led, and strengthened by this word. By helping this mission, you are answering heaven's call to keep the flow of light going where darkness used to rule. Your giving turns into seed in open ground, freeing souls who are still feeling squished and confused. As you honor what I am building, I will establish what I gave you, says the Lord. Do not wait any longer. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message doesn't end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Archangel Michael keeps an eye on things. Your way is clear. Be sure to walk forward without fear or doubt. As this chapter comes to a close, I hand you one last assignment. Share this video before you leave. Not just as an afterthought, but as a sign from God. Share this word with your group. Put it on your timeline. Let it get to the people who need it the most. Sharing this word from the prophet brings a blessing of multiplication into your own life. The seed you plant when you share will grow back to you as a breakthrough. You're not just ending a video. You're starting a process of becoming clearer. Do it right now and see how heaven helps you. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.